I'm so sorry. Right, okay. So, another big news this week was Red Sonya, the reboot, has got a full trailer out. Now, I was debating whether we could actually put this on or not. There's the original, Bridget Nielsen. But I was wondering whether we could actually put this on or not. But I don't know how much trouble we'll get into, so I'll probably leave it.
You could probably mute it. But
there we go.
Yeah.
So, yes, Red Sonja is one of those classic. I called it a boob and sword movie, because it had boobs and swords in. It was big in the 80s. For reference, go and see any canon film set in medieval times. But that worked back then because that's kind of what guys wanted. We wanted, people getting cut off, had their heads off by swords and boobs. You put that in a film, every man's happy. What do you make of this new reboot?
Well, I'm not, I listen to Midnight's Edge. I know they're big Conan Red Sonja stands. And they love, so they have a lot of, like me with Star Trek, right?
Yeah.
And so they're very concerned because the trailer was very generic. And I admit, I watched the trailer and it was, a flat line for me. I'm like, oh, this looks like generic fantasy movie with a Red Sonja.
In that same respect, don't get me wrong, I love canon, but in that same respect of kind of canon, we just, churn them out.
Yeah. And I don't know, their point was that Dread, the one with Carl Urban, had a really crap trailer and turned out to be an awesome movie. So they're not passing judgment on it based on that. I think they're kind of they have the bias of, I really want this to be good because we love, that sword and sorcery type stuff. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of the same way. I was like, well, she wears the bikini, but they had to make a note of it. Like, how am I supposed to wear this? That bullshit. Right there. And it's like, nobody cares that it doesn't, practically, it's not a good thing to wear. That's not the point. The point is, the guy wears just, nobody complains that Conan doesn't wear any armor. It's just basically his bare chest.
Any MMO or computer game which has featured this kind of character, like Skyrim or anything like that, if you play as a female, you will always dress her up like that.
Yeah, because guys like to look at hot women.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
I did read a good one the other day, just to interject, where it said, you play as a female character because you like looking at a woman's backside for 30 hours. I like playing the female character because I like having full control over a woman. We are not the same.
Not all that different either.
When you think about it. But yeah, I mean, the most popular skins of all these kind of games and stuff are always one with the most skin on the show. But sorry, carry on your point. I apologize.
Well, I guess in general, I think Midnight's Edge was trying to be forgiving and hopeful. And I know they came out with that Conan remake, 4, 5, 6 years ago, whatever it was, and it was garbage.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I've seen it, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
And I don't see this being any better. I don't know. It wasn't like the original Red Sonja movie is like sacrosanct. I mean, that one with Brigitte Nielsen, it was pretty cheesy and awful, and I enjoy it mostly from a nostalgia standpoint, but I know it's not great. So
it's one of those films you watch now, kind of like as a drinking game,
Yeah.
Every time somebody gets stabbed, have a swig, or you see a boob, have a swig, type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was fun, but it was, it was nothing. I think that not taking it seriously in some ways benefited it. This one's going to take itself very seriously, I can tell. And the question is whether taking it seriously is, well, great, you have a decent story or not. Yeah, I guess if they follow a comics, the original comics or the source material and tell one of the best stories, maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. I'm kind of looking at it going, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, this is the biggest news we've had this week. But it is kind of weird that how some films, if they lent into the camp or the nostalgia of it and everything else, might actually end up being good. I watched one. It was an indie movie. You will laugh at the title of this, called Spiders on a Plane. Don't know where they came up with that idea from. It was a part British movie, actually, because there was a lot of British actors, but it was an indie movie. But it's called Spiders on a Plane, okay? It's ludicrous, but they took it too seriously. And I kept thinking, man, if they just leaned into the camp with this, like they did with Snakes on a Plane, because, again, everybody on Snakes on a Plane knew this was a ridiculous movie. And so they had fun with it. And you like Snakes on a Plane because it's stupid and nobody's taking it. But this Spiders on a Plane, they took themselves far too seriously, and it really kind of ruined the whole thing. And I just kept thinking, man, if you guys have just leaned into the camp and just leaned into the stupidity of this, you'd have had a decent movie at the end of it. It's so strange.
Yeah, I don't know which way you go with Red Sonya. I don't have that much history with the character. I know she was in the Marvel comics. I know she was originally Pulp, along with whoever wrote Conan, I believe. And
because it wasn't, I was going to say,
that's all I know.
Arnie was in Red Sonja, but he didn't play Conan, did he?
No, it was a rights thing.
Yeah. You don't recognize that character at all, do you?
Is that the chick from Last of Us?
There's a TV series over here called EastEnders, and it's basically about depressed people living depressed lives, and it's been going for like 30, 40 odd years now. She was a character in there, very famous character, Natalie, I can't think of the actor's name now, Natalie, but she played a character called Sonya. I did think to myself when Star put it in, it was kind of, there's only the British readers are going to get that, but
yeah. I was looking at it going, oh yeah, I guess that's a
British thing.
Yeah,
it's not
British.
Monty Python, I don't get it.
No, yeah, you guys peaked with Monty Python. It's been all downhill from there.